Okay, in this video I'll be showing you how to start off your plush. I'll be making a head, but you can also use it as a base. It's just going to be one big round circle for your animal or your doll, character, whatever you're making. First, you're going to start with your magic circle, which I already have a video for. You're just going to want to crochet 6 single crochets inside your loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull your circle tight to get it closed. It should look like this. Wrap your tail in the back because you don't need that. And this is the start of your circle. By the way, I'm using an H hook. It makes like a small to medium sized plush or whatever you're making. Sometimes I use a G or an F to go a little bit smaller, and if you're new at crocheting you can use an I if you want a little bit of a bigger hook to get in your stitches easier. So now when you're starting your plush, you want to be able to increase evenly. You don't want your piece coming out all lopsided or uneven. So the key to crocheting is kind of, it gets a little bit mathy, I guess you can say. So we did 6 stitches around. In order to increase and have this get larger, you're going to need to increase evenly all around. So we're going to want to put 2 single crochets in each stitch, which will equal to 12. So we're going to start here. Let's see. So 1, 2, go to the next stitch, 3, 4, the next stitch, 5, same one gets 6. Every stitch gets 2 stitches. The next stitch equals 7, and then again to make 8. Next 9, 10, and the last 11, 12. So now your little circle, you can see, is getting larger. Now to increase again, depending on if you want your head or your body to be even bigger, which in this case I do, I need to increase again. So if you think about math, we went from 6 to 12, add another 6, that makes 18. So we are going to gradually increase again, evenly around. For the first stitch, we'll get 1, then the next we'll get 2. So now we're going every other one. So in a pattern, if you were to see the words SC or single crochet 1 and then single crochet 2 in next, that's what we're doing now. You do 1 and 1, 2 in the next, 1, 2, 1, 2, and when you get here it will equal 18. So we go 1 and then 2 in the next. So this will be 2, 3. 1 in the next makes 4. 2 in the next makes 5, 6. 1, that's 7. 2 in the next, 8. 9. 1 in the next, 10. 2 in the next, 11. 12. 1 in the next makes 13. 2 in the next makes 14, 15. 1 in the next makes 16, and then your last one gets 2, makes 17, and then 18. So now your circle is even bigger. I still want my head to be a little bit bigger, so I'm going to increase by another 6. Whoops. So 18 plus 6 is 24, and now we are up to single crocheting 2 stitches and then 2 and 1. So it's 1 stitch, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, all the way around until you get to 24. Hope I'm making sense with that. So we start 1, 2, 2 in the next, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 2 in the next. That makes 12. 1 stitch here, 13, 1 stitch in the next makes 14, and then put 2 stitches in the next. So here's one, make 15, and another, make 16. You still have to go all the way to 24. I'm just winding out my yarn. So 1, 17, go in the next one, that's 18, 2 in the next to get you to 20, 1 here, 1 in the next, 21, 1 in the next, 22, and then your last stitch gets 2 stitches, 23, and then again in the same one that you just did, 24. Now that is looking good for the size that you want your head. You want your head to be this big or your body to be this big. Now you can continue, you can stop increasing and you can just continue around doing single crochets all the way around until it gets to the height that you want. Now if it's still not big enough to your liking for what you need, you can keep going. So we just did 24 total stitches around. We increase by 6 again to make 30, and this time we'll be doing 3 singles, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 in the next. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, all the way around until you get to 30. So I will do that. Okay, so now I have 30 stitches all around, and it's still not quite big enough for what I need. So I'm going to go up to 36, and you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 in this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 in this one, all the way around until you get to 36. Alright, so now you should have 36 stitches around. I will be stopping here and continuing up for my project to make this head this size. This will be as wide as it gets for your head or your body. If you want yours a little bit bigger, you can keep going and you can go to 42, 48, or just keep going up and keep with me increments. We just finished 4 and then 2, so next would be 5 stitches and then 2 and 1 and 5 and 2 and 1 if you wanted to keep going. So for now we have 36 total, and all you have to do to keep going up is just 36 around evenly. No more increasing. We're just going to keep it the same and go all the way around. Okay, so that's 36 all around, and if you turn, you can kind of see it's getting like a little bit of a lip now because it's going to start going this way instead of this way. So that is what you want. Now you can keep going evenly around, counting 36 stitches, and you can get it to however high you want. I think I'm going to do about 5 more rows. Let's get it about up to here, and then we will go from there. Okay, so this right here is the start of my head, and I just did 5 rows of 36 single crochets all the way around, and I just wanted to stop and show you where I'm at and the difference between the wrong side and the right side of the stitches. If your head or your body is starting to curl in, that's supposed to be happening. But if you take a look at these stitches versus inside, the inside is actually your finished side, or the side that most people prefer. I know some people leave this side facing out. So what you're going to do, it was like this from when you were crocheting it, and it's a good idea to flip it out before you forget and just keep crocheting like this, because this is the finished side that looks just a bit cleaner than the other side. And then you can keep going. I'm going to keep going all the way around, single crocheting for about 5 more rows to make it longer, because that certainly isn't a head yet. So keep going. Okay, so now I have the height where I want it to be for my head. I'm going to stop here. Looks like this. I did 10 rows of just single crochet all the way around. It was 36 stitches a row to get it to this high. If you want yours taller, you can keep going, make it longer if you need a long body or something. But for now, I'm going to start decreasing, which is basically the same thing as increasing, just in reverse. So to increase, we did increments of 6, and we increased by 6 every row. Now we have to decrease by 6 every row. So the last row we did was a total of 36 stitches, so we're going to have to go down 6 stitches to 30. So we're going to start by going 4 single crochet and then decrease 1 all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease 1, all the way around until it totals 30 stitches. So I will show you how to do a decrease without getting a big noticeable hole in your work. So we start 1, 2, 3, 4. Decrease, you put your hook in, grab it, and then instead of doing a regular single crochet, you're going to go through the next hook and then do your single crochet like you would normally, but this time you have 3 loops on the hook. So it goes through. That is a decrease, and you can see how it makes it a little bit tight. So that equals 5 stitches. We're going to keep going. 4 more. 6, 7, 8, 9. This 10th one is going to be a decrease. Go in again to the next one, bring it up, loop over, and go through both. So that's 10. Keep going. 11, 12, 13, 14. Decrease again. Go in the next one, wrap around through. That's 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, decrease on 20, put it through the next one, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, decreasing on 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and the last one is another decrease. Pull it through, go find your next one, through, 3 on the hook, through, and that's 30. So it's getting a little bit tighter. If you subtract another 6 from the 30, you get 24. There you go. So now instead of going 4 and the decrease 1, we're going to bring it down to 3 and decrease 1 all the way until you get to 24. So okay. 1, 2, 3. Decrease 1. That's 4. 5, 6, 7. Decrease 1 makes 8. 9, 10, 11. Decrease 1 makes 12. 13, 14, 15, decrease 1, makes 16. Pull out my yarn. 3 more. 17, 18, 19, decrease to make 20. And the last part, 3 more. 1, 2, 23, and then decrease one last time. And that's 24 total. You can see it's kind of rounding out there. Okay, so we're going to subtract 6 again for your next row. And this time we will be going single crochet 2, decrease 1, until we get to 18. So 1, 2, decrease all the way around till 18. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then the last set, 16, 17, and then decrease for 18. Getting smaller. You might want to start stuffing now if you're going to stuff your work. Eventually this will get so small that you can't really squeeze anything in. Also, if you're going to be putting safety eyes in, it's probably a good time to do it. You would just flip your work if you're doing a head, and you can get safety eyes at pretty much any craft store. And this is when you would place them and pop them in, and usually they come with a washer, and you just put the washer on the inside and the eye in through here, click it together, and then you can stuff it. Or for this project that I'm doing, I'm not using safety eyes, I'll be using felt. You can also embroider or sew or anything, paint, whatever you want for your work. But I'm going to go one more round before I start stuffing, and then I'll show you how to stuff. So next up is another decrease of 6 stitches around, so that'll be 12. So you're going to go single crochet 1 and then decrease 1. This is when it's going to get a lot smaller. So 1 and then decrease to make 2. 1, decrease. Last one, 12. I'm going to stop it here and go get some fluff to stuff it with and show you how to do that. Okay, now that your work is close to being closed, we're going to start stuffing it. I have polyester fiberfill. Just going to take and stuff the inside. Now you don't want to understuff and you don't want to overstuff. If you don't put enough in, then it's a little bit too squishy. And if you're going to mail it as a gift or send it to somebody, you got to think about how delicate it'll be if you don't use enough. It can get squashed easily. Like if you just do that much and then you stuff it, it'll just get all squishy. So stuff it as much as you think would be enough. A little bit more. Shape it, make it round. All in there. A little bit more. You can also push some through right before you're about to close it. Tiny bit more. Make sure it's all around there. Round it out. I usually spin it a whole bunch of times, make sure it's even, not lopsided or whatever. And now to close it, we only have this much left to close. We're going to decrease all the way around. Sometimes a pattern will say, you know, decrease 6 around, and then I'll realize I have 8 stitches somehow, and I'm like, oh no. But as long as your work looks even and the way you want it, if there's 8 stitches left, you just decrease in the rest, whatever you have left. just decrease all the way around. So put it through, up, through the next one. You should have 3 loops. Loop it around both of them. Keep going. Now you don't want to go through the one that you just went through. Let me back up. I just went through this one right here and this one. So now we're going to this one. Okay, so this one and this one. Up and through. And you can tighten it as you go. You can kind of hear it. So I was just there. Now I'm going to go here to here. And go all the way around, and it's going to keep closing. Oops. Needs to get more yarn out. Okay, now we're almost done closing it. So if you want to squish it around a little bit more and think that the top can hold some more stuffing, you can go ahead and put some in. I usually take my hook out and just stuff a teensy bit more, and get in there, move it around. Okay, and then we'll just keep closing it up, decrease by decrease. Almost finished. Oops. Gets kind of hard at the end to see which stitch to go into, and I usually see right here it looks about done, but there's a little gap right here, so then I just run my hook through that. So now I have 2 loops here. I'll just go through that, another single crochet, find another loop down here, just do a slip stitch, which instead of yarning over, when I have these 2 loops on here, you just take this loop and go through this one. So pull that through, and this is where you can cut your yarn. Now if you're going to be attaching this piece to something and you need a long length of yarn to attach it to, say, a body, this is going to be my head. I don't think I'll be using this yarn to attach to my body. I'm going to be using the string from the body to attach to the head. So I will be threading this through here and cutting this. But if you needed to use this to connect to another piece, you would leave a long length of yarn and you would cut it like over here, so that later you can use your thread needle and thread it. But for today, I don't need the yarn on there. So I'm just gonna leave a tiny bit like that. Well, I left a lot, but I will show you how to thread it through your head so that you won't see it anymore. So now what you need is a thread needle. I'll get mine. Thread needles are in the crochet and knitting section. They look like this, and it's basically just a big needle, and the point is just not sharp at all. Perfect for yarn and weaving in your ends and sewing some crochet pieces together. So you take the end of your yarn that you were just working on that's connected to your piece, slip it through like that. I have some polyfill coming through. So you just stopped right here. what I do is I just stick my needle through it, and then wherever I want, I just push it all the way through until it comes out somewhere in the front or the back. I'll usually make this the back of my head and pull it through carefully. So now the bottom is extra secure, and once you cut this, you won't be able to tell that this was over here, and it's the same color anyway. There's that. And you can't tell at all. And there's no more string. And now you have a head or a body. So I hope that was easy to understand. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll try to make a better video eventually, or if you need me to slow down a certain spot or to show it more clearly. I'm still working with this new camera that I have, and I think it goes out of focus a lot sometimes, so I'm trying. So I hope that you can see this, and I hope that it was easy enough to learn. So just let me know and like and share if it was a help to you. Thanks, guys.